The time is now to architect a life of excellence. What will we do? Who will we become? We decide today. This is Learn, Do, Become Radio. Let's move onward and upward together.
Hello and welcome to Learn, Do, Become Radio. I'm April Perry, and today we are going to clean out a drawer together. I want you to have a fun way to get a little lift today. And if you followed people like Gretchen Rubin, who wrote The Happiness Project, or David Allen, who's the author of Getting Things Done, you know that clearing space in your life is one of the best ways to lift your mood, to unlock your creativity, and just to feel better in general about your life. Now, most people have at least one place in their home or office that could use a little spring cleaning, a little sprucing up, even if it's not spring. And so we're going to talk today about the actual step-by-step process of cleaning a drawer. In fact, I would like us to do it together. So my idea is that as you listen to this podcast, you can actually pause as you go and go through the steps. And by the end, you're going to have a totally clean drawer and you're going to see it wasn't as hard as you might have thought. So are you with me? We're going to have some fun today. All right, to get started, you need to select the drawer that you would like to clean. I recommend you choose the drawer that you used most often. So if this is a main drawer in your kitchen that your kids come in and they're getting out scissors and tape and all those kinds of things, or if it's the main drawer of your desk where you go to get a pencil or a sticky note or something like that, choose that drawer that you open at least a few times a day, because most likely that drawer is totally overwhelming. So that way you'll get a lift every single time you open it, and it's going to build momentum. Then you need to have 4 different things ready. And this is where most people were never really taught what to do. How do you get things ready? Let's talk about it. Okay, first of all, you want to have the trash can nearby, because I guarantee you probably 20% of what's in your drawer is trash. Second, I want you to have some sort of a pile or a container, like a laundry basket or a little bag or something like that, or a box for things to donate, things that are in the drawer you could donate, okay? And then I want you to have some sort of a pile or, again, basket, bag, something for things to put somewhere else, because not everything belongs in that drawer that's in there right now, and not everything is going to be thrown in the trash, and not everything is going to be able to be donated, but there are some things that just don't belong in the drawer. Now, you might not know where that somewhere else is yet. You just know it doesn't belong in the drawer, and so that's okay. We're just going to put it in that basket or bag, things to put somewhere else. Okay, and then the final thing you need to have is a context-based next actions list. Now, if you haven't attended our free class, or you haven't read Getting Things Done by David Allen, you might not know what this is. So I'll just explain really briefly. It's a very simple list organized by context: home, phone, computer, to discuss, and errands. Now, if you just want to get kind of a bigger sticky note and write those down, that's awesome. If you want to open a note in the Evernote app or just the Notes app on your phone, that's fine. You can just put those contexts in there as a digital note, or you could open up your planner and take a page and put all that on there. However you want it to look is fine, but you want to have a specific next actions list, and I'll show you the kinds of things you're going to put on it, that's going to help you take action on any of those things that come to your mind while you're working on the drawer. This is one of the reasons why we are afraid to organize and afraid to declutter, is because we feel like we're opening Pandora's box. And you think, well, the moment I open the drawer, I'm going to realize, oh, I need to go buy more pens, or, oh, I need to go take this piece of paper to someone. And then we end up getting distracted. I hear all the time, people feel like they're living in that book, If You Give a Mouse a Cookie. They feel like they start one thing and then they get derailed and then they never end up finishing anything. Okay, that's not going to happen today. You are going to finish this drawer. Okay. And I'll show you what to do with everything else, so your mind doesn't feel stressed. Your mind will feel calm, and then you'll feel excited to move forward. Okay, you ready? So you got the trash can ready, some sort of a pile for things to donate, some sort of a pile for things to put somewhere else, and your context-based next actions list, most likely organized by home, phone, computer, to discuss, and errands. All right. Okay, step 1, take everything out of the drawer. Now, if you don't have anywhere to put it, then clear a space first, like on top of your desk or on the kitchen counter or on the floor, wherever, I don't care. But you need to have one defined place where you can dump the drawer, essentially. Take everything out. Now, if the bottom of the drawer has pencil shavings or random things, don't dump the drawer. Just take everything out carefully so you're not going to create more of a mess than you started with. But we're just going to take everything out, right? Whole thing, all of it out. Okay, step 2. Clean the drawer. Go get a paper towel, get it wet, wipe out the drawer, do something, get a little broom, sweep it, whatever you need to do. Figure out how to just get that drawer cleaned out. Now, here's the thing. If you see that there's some random stain in the bottom of the drawer and you think, oh, I've got to do something else to clean this, or, oh, I should go get some shelf paper. Let me wait till I have shelf paper. Do not wait for shelf paper. The drawer will be clean and you can empty it quickly and put shelf paper in later if you need to. If anyone does shelf paper, I don't really do that. But I just want to not have you stop here. Just clean it, get it all wiped out, dry it, have it ready. So it's going to be like your canvas, okay? We're artists today creating a clean drawer. Are you so excited? We're going to have so much fun. All right. So now that your drawer is empty and clean, and if you need to pause this for a minute to go do that, go do it. We're going to have a great time. But now I'm envisioning you standing in front of this clean, beautiful drawer, and you've got a pile of stuff next to you that might be causing anxiety, but let's stop the anxiety right now, because what usually goes through your mind is, oh, look at all this stuff. And then you start feeling shame. How did I let it get this bad? Why are we dumping everything in here? Why is my family a whole bunch of piggies, right? I mean, all these little thoughts might go through your mind where you feel upset about the drawer, you feel angry. And I know you might think I'm silly for saying all this, but really, this is what's happening. So we need to just talk about it. There's no shame, there's no guilt, there's no blame, there's no wallowing in the frustration. We're going to solve it, okay? So just stick with me. All right, step number 3. Before we put anything back or make any decisions, we need to ask ourselves this question. And here's your question. What do I come to this drawer to find? I want you to try to answer that question without looking at the piles, because you're going to look at the pile. You don't open that drawer to see a bunch of junk. Nobody says, hey, I'm going to go open this drawer and I hope to see 50 things that don't belong there and a bunch of random stuff my kids shoved in the drawer. Like, nobody thinks that. So instead, I want you to just visualize yourself walking to the drawer, or visualize your family members doing that. What are they trying to find? Like, for example, my desk drawer, right there at the very front of my desk, I go there to find pens, pencils, Post-it notes, scissors, tape. That's what I go there to find. I don't go there to find other random stuff. So I want you to really, really think about that. We have a kitchen cupboard, and I was just cleaning that the other day. That's where I go to find a screwdriver, batteries, Band-Aids, my camera, coins, and place cards for our table. Our kids made these cute little place cards. So if we ever get fancy and put place cards out, that's where I go to find them. All right. That's it. But you know what? When I was cleaning out that cupboard, I found orthodontic supplies, like for my kids' braces, and no one has braces right now, which is silly. They've been there for probably a year. I found an old digital frame that we haven't even used for a couple years. I found some speakers for our computer that I seriously haven't used in 3 years. I found a random basket that I just shoved in there. I mean, there are all these random things in the cupboard. I do not go there to find them. So I think if you can really look at your drawer and think, okay, what do I come here to find? I want you to write that down, okay? Just have that, maybe get out another little notepad or something like that, or think about it in your head. But I want you to really identify this, because this is one of the most important steps. Like an artist, when you sit down to paint, I'm not an artist, so I don't know, but I'm guessing an artist doesn't just sit down randomly and start throwing paint all over the place, maybe in some kinds of art. But for the most part, you have some sort of vision of what you want to create. Getting a drawer organized is really not different than that. We are trying to create a vision for what this drawer is going to become. And I feel a little bit silly talking about a drawer like this, but you have no idea how much of an impact this one drawer is making on your life. And stick with me, because you're going to see and you're going to feel a lift, and you're going to be like, oh my gosh, I just cleaned a drawer. It made me so happy. All right, a little natural high here. So now that you've identified the purpose of the drawer and you've got that figured out, now you're going to go look at that pile, and I want you to pull out the things that match what you're looking for. So in that pile, that everything you dumped out of the drawer, you probably can find that pair of scissors, all right? You can find that Scotch tape. You can find the screwdriver or the nail clippers or some pens that work. You're not going to a drawer to find pens that don't work. You're not trying to find all dried out highlighters or broken pencils, none of that. So you only put back the things that you actually go to the drawer to find, okay? Now, here's the thing. If as you're going through this process, you realize you don't have that item that you go to the drawer to find, at this point, you can do one of two things. Number one, if you know that item is somewhere else in the house and you know where it is right now, you can go grab it and put it in the drawer. That's fine. But if you know it's somewhere in some other pile and it's going to derail you, do not go right now. You go to your context-based next actions list, and under the home category, you write down what you need to find. Oh, I need to find those 2 screwdrivers, or I need to find my favorite pair of scissors, whatever it is. Put it under the home category. This is going to be a next action you're going to do at some point while you're at home. Also, the second thing you can do, if you realize, I come to this drawer to find pencils and we have none. This happened to me about 2 weeks ago. You go to your context-based next actions list, and under the errands category, you write down anything you need to buy for that drawer. Or like, oh, I'm out of Post-its. Oh, I don't have a SD card, whatever. Like, figure out what you need. So you can add to that list. You're not going to run to the store right now. You're not going to go digging through piles. You're just going to stay focused on this drawer. But you're only going to put back those things from the pile that really belong there. And there's still going to be some room, so stick with me. And you're going to make sure that in your head and on your list, your context-based next actions list, you know how you're going to either replenish that drawer or fill the drawer with the appropriate things. Does that sound good? All right. Step number 5. Now you still have this huge pile, and you might feel a little anxiety because you're looking at this pile and you're like, oh, I want to put everything just back in that drawer. I don't want to deal with it. There's some stress. There's some frustration, whatever. That's okay. We're going to look at the drawer, and we're just going to take one item at a time. If we were organizing papers and sorting papers, I would tell you start from the top, work your way down. Don't pause. Don't put anything else in some other pile to decide later. You're just going to go through the whole pile. Now, because you have kind of a cluster of stuff and random things, you can't like pile them one on top of the other, but you can just go from left to right or right to left, whatever you want to do. Just figure out some system where you're going to take one item at a time, and you're going to make a decision on it right then. I know that this takes some of your willpower and this takes some energy to make decisions on things that have been sitting there. But my mom always said, if not now, when? And if not me, then who? Now, if you can answer those questions appropriately and you're like, oh my gosh, right now I just can't do it because I've got to go run this errand or I'm late to something. Okay, maybe you should have started this a little later. That's okay. That's fine. If you can answer the question, oh, I'll actually do this at 3:00. Or, you know what, I don't think I need to do this. I'm going to have my son or daughter listen to this podcast and have them do it. That's fine. But I want you to be able to answer that question. But for the most part, whenever I ask myself the question, if not now, when? And if not me, then who? I often say, you know what, I need to do this right now because this is an important thing. And you started the drawer with good intentions. We're going to help you finish. So you go through each item in that pile, and you're either going to put it into the trash, into that donation bag or basket, or into the somewhere else bag. Don't stress right now where that somewhere else is going to be. Just know this doesn't belong here. So if you find some random little, like a some playing cards, or you have something, some rubber bands or whatever, but you're like, I don't want to throw them away, but I don't want to keep them here in the drawer because I don't really go to this drawer to find it. I think it'd be better upstairs or downstairs or whatever. That's fine. Just stick it in somewhere else. You don't have to know exactly where it will end up living. It's just somewhere else. All right. Now, one of the questions I'm asked most often is, how do I decide what to keep and what to donate? This is a really big decision because there's a lot of emotion involved. And I know because I've worked with a ton of people and I've watched this internal struggle, like somebody who has 50 different pens and they think, I think I need all of them. Okay, well, maybe you will, but they don't all need to go in that drawer, right? But then sometimes we have all these extra things like those speakers that I have up in my cupboard, or just a bunch of random things that I think, I should keep them. Maybe they'd be useful someday. What if we need that? Here's the thing. Every single item that you own has to pay rent in your life. It's taking up space in your home. You have to think about it, either maintain it, or it's just taking up space in your brain. If you can get rid of as much as possible, it's going to help you feel amazing. Now, most of you have probably heard of the awesome book by Marie Kondo called The Life-Changing Magic of Tidying Up. Fantastic book if you haven't read it yet. Super fun. It'll inspire you to want to clean everything. But I actually got a copy for my daughter, Grace. She wanted to declutter her room, and she's not a natural declutterer. She's kind of my child who likes to stuff things in drawers and likes to kind of keep a lot of things all together. She's pretty neat and tidy, but she just likes to keep a lot of stuff. So I gave her the book and she loved it. And the other day I went in her room, she's 14, and she said, "Hey Mom, I just did that Spark Joy thing and I filled 3 bags with things that I really didn't even need or want." She had a little cubby set up in her bedroom that had 9 different sections and, those little drawers you put in. Anyway, she had it totally full prior to going through this Spark Joy thing. But yes, my 14-year-old daughter was able to go through, fill 3 bags, and she showed me, she was so excited to show me, "Hey Mom, come look at my room. Look how great it looks." That's how you want to feel. So what I recommend is every item you look at, you ask, okay, do I actually use this? Is this something I'm just kind of keeping because I have some random feelings toward it? I also ask the question, can I bless other people with this? We live in an amazing world where you can make donations to charitable organizations that will help take those items you donate and give them to people who actually need them and will use them and love them. And I don't know the exact words that Marie Kondo uses, but it's something like she would hold up, a book or a doll or whatever and say, "Thank you for the contribution you made to my life." Express gratitude towards that item and then give it away. So I really encourage you, as much as possible, get rid of everything that you possibly can, because the whole idea, less is more, really, when it comes to having a clutter-free life and clear space and having room to be creative, this is totally worth it. Now, there's a lot of great books on this, and Julie Morgenstern has a book called Shed. It's like Shed Your Stuff, Change Your Life. I really enjoyed that book. And one of my favorites that's out of print, but it's called It's Here Somewhere. Now, if you enjoy reading decluttering books, those are 3 I'd recommend in addition to Marie Kondo's. But if you don't have time right now to read decluttering books, and I don't want you stopping right now to go to the library, you actually can add that to your errands list or your computer list right now to order those online, okay? But we aren't going to stop. We're going to keep moving. I just want you to, if in doubt, throw it out, right? I like that little phrase. Okay, or donate or recycle or whatever. Now, let's go into step 6. This is now capturing any other ideas or things that you need to do that came to your mind during the process. Because you've cleaned out the drawer, you've got it all ready, you've only put the things that you actually use, you've taken everything else in that pile, it's trash, donate, or put somewhere else. Now you don't have a pile sitting on the floor anymore. You have a drawer that's looking pretty good. And then your brain is still going to have a bunch of little ideas because you were thinking about things or someone called while you were in the middle of cleaning the drawer. So you're going to go back to that context-based list, and you're just going to add to it any other thoughts or ideas that you had, anything you need to follow up on. Like, let's say as you're organizing batteries, you realized, oh, I need a battery for that smoke detector upstairs. It has nothing to do with the drawer. It's just a thought that came to you. So under errands, you write down battery for the smoke detector. Or let's say I'm taking that old digital frame out of my cupboard and I say, you know what, I want some new photos on this frame because I haven't even used it, but we've got a bunch of digital photos. I bet that'd be fun, or that'd be a fun Sunday afternoon project. My kids could help put together their favorite pictures. Add that to your computer task list or your home one if you want to be doing it like with your kids and family. All right. Or let's say you find 15 pencils in that drawer and you think, these just need to be sharpened. I need someone to just sit and sharpen these. It's going to take more than 2 minutes because our sharpener is kind of slow or whatever. Then that can be a home task that you could assign to one of your children if you have children. And that way you now have a specific action list of everything that needs to be done to follow up. Now, if you're already part of our Steps to Everyday Productivity program, the STEP program, you know how the context-based next actions list works with a routines list and a streamlined calendar during the day. If you want to learn more about that and you haven't attended one of our classes yet, go to the end of this podcast or stay on to the end and we'll tell you how you can sign up. But you definitely want to come check that out because we're going to show you how to make sure you're not stressed about everything that needs to happen, right? But I want you to feel great. I want you to feel excited about this drawer. Okay. Step number 7. This is one of the most important steps that most people skip. One of the reasons why people do not organize is because they say, I get it clean for 10 minutes and then everyone messes it up or I mess it up and it never stays that way. Now, I get it. I totally understand. I have 4 children. Sometimes I feel like I'm trying to create order in the middle of a whirlwind, but I want you to know by doing what I'm about to tell you in step 7, our children have actually been able to generally help us keep things in order. This works. It's not that hard, all right? But you've got to do it. All right, so step 7 is to identify the routines that you'll need to have in place in order to keep the drawer the way that you just made it. Now, this involves some training. This involves some conversations. If it's your own personal drawer, then it's just a conversation with yourself. So I would say something like, April, from now on, you're not going to put a pen back in the drawer that's dead. You're going to make sure it goes right to the trash. Actually, this is more of a conversation with my kids. I'm pretty good at that. But I might say something like, oh, April, you want to keep this nightstand drawer really clean and beautiful. So if someone sends you something random or you get a little gift or you buy a new item, don't stick it in this drawer anymore. I want you to step back and think of a better place to put those things so you can keep this drawer clean. You're going to have some sort of conversation with yourself. When it's your children, you actually are going to have a family meeting around the drawer. And I know this sounds so funny, but here's what we'll do. I'll say, hey kids, come on over. We're going to have a little conversation about this drawer. So they all gather around and I say things like, this spot is where we put the 6 markers we use for our wall calendar. Each family member has their own color. Extra markers do not go in this drawer. Those go in the art cupboard where we keep our markers. So if you grab a marker out of the art cupboard and you want to put it away, it doesn't go in the drawer. Okay, where do the markers go? I ask the question, they repeat back. And we're not doing this in a patronizing way. It's just like, we've got to have the conversation, kids, because you know what's going to happen in this drawer. Or things like, okay, when you use a pair of scissors to open a package, like cut a corner off a package, do not leave that corner that you cut off, that little package remnant, in the drawer. Now, why do I have to say this? Because every time I open the drawer, I see like little corners of a cereal bag or corners of some toy or something, because some of my kids just clearly think when you cut something, you just let it fall and you don't pick it up. I mean, that's how they naturally come. So these are conversations we have to have. Also, if you use the scissors, as soon as you're done with the scissors, they go right here in this section of the drawer. Now, I did get some little drawer dividers. If you decide, oh, I think it'd be helpful to have some little drawer organizers or something like that, put that on your errands list right now. But you also might want to take a second to measure the drawer just so you know which size to get so you don't get the wrong size. So if you don't have a tape measure and you need to measure the drawer in order to get the drawer organizers, write down on your home task, measure that drawer with a tape measure, right? Put that first. So you just want to make sure that you're not setting yourself up to procrastinate. And that's something we go over in our live class. I'll tell you more at the end if you want to come do that. All right. Also, as you're having this training session with your family, once this training session is over and everyone's looking at you and nodding and they're like, yes, we are on the same page. We are going to keep this drawer so clean. Their intentions are good, but most likely there's going to be some slip ups, and we're not going to go around screaming about our drawer. Like, the drawer at the end of the day doesn't matter as much as the relationship, so we're not going to freak out about it. But you might want to create a calendar trigger maybe 2 weeks from now. And you just go to your calendar and you make a little reminder. And you say, hey, follow up with the family and see how our drawer is doing. So you're going to have like a follow-up family meeting about the drawer. Okay, at this point, it probably seems like, what on earth are you talking about? It's one drawer. Why are we putting so much time and energy into it? It's because this first drawer, or this one drawer, it's a microcosm for the rest of your home, for your office, for your life. The principles we're talking about today, as we're discussing how to organize a drawer, they're the exact same principles that we're going to go through as we're cleaning out any other area of our home. And these principles are the foundation for things like our email, for things like our project list at work. I mean, it's all the same kind of stuff. So if you can get good at one drawer, being able to effortlessly maintain it beautifully, it's going to increase your confidence, it's going to make your house better, and it's going to start to like spread. I think of it as like the opposite of the nothing. I don't know if you guys ever watched the movie The Never-Ending Story, but there was this nothing that was spreading and it was destroying this beautiful land. What we're going to do is, this is the opposite. You start with one drawer and then you're like, wow, that drawer looks so clean. I bet we could do the same thing to that cupboard, or I bet we could do all the other drawers, or ooh, I bet we could do the entertainment center or something like that. It's like this beautiful organization that's going to seep throughout your home and your life, and then you get your life back, right? That's why we're doing this. Now, we've gone through these 7 steps. I want you to just imagine if you did this same process throughout your whole home and office. And then what if you learned the little tweaks and adaptations on how you do the same thing with email, all your paper piles, the big junk room, all your digital files, and learned the unique little nuances to getting all of that clear and clean and beautiful? What would that do for you? Because I'm guessing it would change your life. I'm guessing it would give you a huge lift. It would help you to better be able to deal with all like the really heavy stuff on your plate, because I know there's heavy stuff. You might have a family member dealing with an addiction. You might have some financial struggles. You might have some anxiety or depression, or maybe something's not going right at work, or maybe there's a relationship that's really struggling and it's weighing on you. I want you to have the emotional energy to handle the challenges of life. And in order to do that, I want you to get rid of the emotional drain that comes from clutter and piles and overwhelm. This process is about so much more than simply organizing a drawer. Yes, that was the goal of the podcast, and I hope you're feeling excited about your awesome drawer. But I want you mostly to be excited about the potential that is in you to be able to live your purpose, strengthen your family, make a difference in the world, and be able to actually have a life that you feel so excited about. Here's the thing. I work with people all the time who are living in guilt and shame because of all of these piles. I want you to know a couple things. If you are living in piles, whether it's physical or mental stuff or digital, there is a path to get out. Also, I want you to understand it is not your fault. Most people blame themselves. They feel so much shame and they think, oh, I'm a procrastinator, I'm a mess, I'm lacking in skills, my spouse thinks I'm awful, my family makes fun of me, I'm just such a mess. And people go through their lives thinking that's true. That is not true. It's just you've never been taught a process that actually works with your life and feels doable. because if you had, you would have done it. You're a hard worker. You're willing to put the effort into things. It's just that you don't want to work on things that's going to send you back, so you feel like you didn't even accomplish anything. You want to feel that sense of progress. You want to feel inspired. You want to feel excited. You want a home and a life that's clear and streamlined. And you want to feel like, I am making a difference in this world and I am living up to my full potential. And I know for some of you that might seem like such a stretch right now because you're going through a lot. For others of you, you might be just on the verge. You're like, oh, I'm almost there. I can almost feel it. I love to be able to work with you, help you, strengthen you, coach you, because you know what? I have to fight that every day too. I have to fight the thoughts every day that tell me, April, what are you doing? Oh, you're not moving fast enough. You're not doing a good enough job. Why are you even trying? There's so much needs to be done and there's no way you're ever going to do it. And the world would get along fine if you just took a break and didn't try to do so many things. I mean, I have these thoughts that go through my head all the time. But I'm recording this really early in the morning and I'm up doing this and living my mission because I care about you. Your homes, your lives, your families are at stake. And I want you to feel joy. I want you to feel relief. I want you to be able to be healed from all of that negativity that's just been weighing on you for years. It doesn't need to be there. So start with this drawer. I want you to take a picture of it. I want you to send it to me. Send it to email@learndobecome.com. I want to check it out. I'm so excited for you. And if you want to be part of our program, Eric and I teach webinars, and you can sign up for one at learndobecome.com/step. Go to that URL, sign up for one of our classes if you haven't attended already, and come be part of this movement. Come change your life. We're thrilled to have you with us. I feel like what I meant to do is help people get out of that overwhelm, get out of the piles. That seems kind of like a funny mission. Initially, you're thinking, really? I'm the girl who gets people out of piles. I want you to be able to live and butterfly. If you haven't listened to our previous podcast, butterflying. I want you to be able to arise. I want you to be able to shake off everything that's been holding you down and be able to live that mission. Okay, have I said that over and over and over again? We'll go ahead and close now. All right, come visit us at learndobecome.com. If you want to come to today's specific episode page, that's awesome. And we're just here to help you. So thank you. Have a great day. We'll see you soon.